Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hamira Hanim binti Abdul Muain. My metric number is 1221921. Today I would like to discuss an important issue that has shaped perception of Islam for centuries: Orientalism misconception about Islam. The misconception of Islam through the lens of Orientalism is a multifaceted issue that has historical roots and contemporary implications. Orientalism as a scholarly and ideological framework have often portrayed Islam in a negative light, leading to widespread misunderstanding and stereotypes. This portrayal has been driven by various motives, including religious, political, and economic interests, and have been perpetuated through literature, art, and academic studies. The impact of this misconception is significant, affecting both Muslim and non-Muslim perception of Islam. Let's move to the issues. First, Islam portrayed as a rigid and unchanging religion. One common misconception about Orientalists is the portrayal of Islam as static religion that does not evolve with time. They often ignore the fact that Islam has adapted to various cultures and societies and has a rich tradition of intellectual discourse and interpretation. For example, many Orientalists claim that Islamic law is outdated and incapable of adapting to modern society. However, they often overlook how ijtihad has historically allowed scholars to interpret Islamic principles in ways that suit changing social contexts. For instance, in modern Malaysia, Islamic finance have developed innovative solutions like sukuk that comply with Sharia while functioning within the global economic system, showing Islam adaptability. Second, misrepresentation of Prophet Muhammad SAW. Many Orientalist writings depict the Prophet Muhammad SAW primarily as a political and military leader, failing to acknowledge his role as a messenger of God, an educator, and social reformer who preached justice, mercy, and moderation. For example, in many Orientalist texts, such as those written by 19th century European writers like William Moore, Prophet Muhammad SAW portrayed mainly as a military strategist who spread Islam by the sword. This narrative ignores his true mission as a prophet who promotes peace, education, and social justice. For example, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, a peace agreement initiated by the Prophet Muhammad SAW despite apparent disadvantage, reflect his commitment to diplomacy and peaceful coexistence, not conquest. Third, Islam leads with violence. Orientalist narrative frequently associate Islam with violence and conquest, disregarding the historical context and the principles of justice and peace emphasized in Islamic teaching. Islam, in reality, is a faith that encourages harmony and compassion. For example, after the 9/11 attacks, many Orientalist influenced media outlets and scholars began to associate Islam broadly with terrorism and violence. Terms like Islamic terrorism become common, unfairly linking an entire religion to the action of extremist groups. This ignores the fact that the vast majority of Muslims around the world condemn violence, and the Islamic teaching emphasize peace, such as the verse in the Quran: "If they incline to peace, then incline to it also." Surah Al-Anfal. Lastly, misunderstanding of women's rights in Islam. The widespread Orientalist misconception is that Islam oppresses women and restricts their rights. However, an objective examination revealed that Islam was among the first religions to grant women rights in education, inheritance, and leadership. For example, Orientalists often claim that Muslim women are not allowed to pursue education or participate in public life. However, Islamic history tells a different story. One notable example is Aisyah binti Abu Bakr, the wife of Prophet Muhammad SAW, who was a renowned scholar and teacher. She narrated over 2,000 hadiths and taught many companions of the Prophet. Her role highlights how Islam granted women intellectual and educational authority from the beginning before many Western societies recognized such rights. In conclusion, the misconception propagated by Orientalism about Islam have existed for centuries and continue to shape perception today. It is our responsibility to critically examine historical and academic sources to ensure that we correct false narratives about our religions. Let us all contribute to spreading the true understanding of Islam, defending it with beauty, knowledge, reasoning, and ethical discourse. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.